Good morning. Welcome today to our 60-minute slow flow class. I am very excited to be here with you today. My camera is a little bit grainy. Just give me 1 second here to get that settled. All right, that's better. There we are. Just some minor adjustments to the camera. Hold on. All right. Hopefully that's better. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here together today. We've got our 60-minute slow flow. And today we're just going to take it easy. It's kind of rainy outside where I am right now and kind of feeling like a nice, steady pace kind of day. So we're going to begin on our backs and let's go ahead. If you have a bolster or something that you want to place beneath the knees to help lift the knees up and just relaxing through the back, go ahead and grab it. If you want to go right into Shavasana Pose, go ahead and make yourself comfortable on your mat. I'm going to go ahead and get nice and comfortable here today with all this watery, flowing water coming from the earth, coming from the sky today. We're going to kind of embrace that today in our practice. Nice, gentle, flowy flow. So let's just go ahead and get ourselves comfortable. Maybe setting the bolster if you do have one underneath the knees, and maybe opening the palms out wide up towards the sky. Just allowing the back of the body to kind of rest down in towards the mat. Maybe take your eyes and either finding a gaze gently forward or close the eyes. And just kind of tune inward. Take a moment to check in, if you will. Check in with how you're feeling. Check in with your physical body. How is that doing? And just as you rest here for a moment, notice the heaviness of the body resting down towards the mat. Start to notice all the different areas of the body connecting down. As you just take a few moments here to settle in, let the clavicles remain wide, the fingertips soft, the toes soft, the ankles soft. Maybe take a moment to notice the forehead, the eyebrows, maybe finding a little softness of the eyes, the cheeks, the throat. Notice if anything is pulling your attention away. Maybe your thoughts are of the past, the future, and kind of taking you away from the present. I want you to visualize maybe a passerby, someone you know, more like an acquaintance, maybe a neighbor you've got, someone you can say hello to and maybe have a brief conversation with, but not someone you know too deeply. And I want you to imagine yourself sitting on a porch and you can see this person from afar, kind of walking by your house. And I want you to think of those thoughts as that passerby, that acquaintance. They come in, they pass by, and they move along. So as your thoughts may pop in throughout your practice, remind yourself that it's just an acquaintance. We don't need to get attached to the thoughts. Don't need to set any sort of identification with them. We just want to see them come and then slowly drift out and drift away. Sending them some love, always kindness, but not needing to feel attached to them or delving into them too deeply. As you're here, notice if your shoulders can drift down a little bit down towards the earth. Maybe there's this sense of heaviness in the back of the body. Perhaps you can even notice your breath coming in and filling the back of your body and pressing into the mat beneath you. Maybe we set our intentions for our practice today, reminding ourselves that our intention is like a state of being. It's what you are right now. You can almost feel it at a cellular level. Maybe you create your intention with an I am statement. I am calm. I am in harmony. I am in peace. Whatever calls to you this morning. Maybe it's something you're not feeling right now, but it's something you want to feel. Maybe you're feeling stressed or a little anxious. Maybe you want that sense of peace and calm. And still come back to that with an I am statement. I am peace. I am love. I am calm. And then as you're ready, I'm going to slowly bring our right knee in towards our chest. Keep the left leg long. Draw the right knee in and just gently draw it in towards the heart on your exhale. Maybe give the ankle a little twirl. Maybe move the ankle in the opposite direction. And then come back through center, set the right hand on top of the right knee, and let's just stir the pot with that right hip. And I want you just to explore as you're moving, notice if there's any sticking points. Notice if there's any range of motion, things that are going on, and just notice them. Like that passerby, no judgment, no expectation. Just notice how it feels. Maybe notice the different muscular structure around the hip that might be working. And I've actually just kept my eyes closed here just to allow myself to tune in with my physical body. Just allowing all my awareness to come into the body. And then if you'd like, you can reverse your direction. Just move that knee in and out, opposite. Notice how that feels. One side might feel a little bit more fluid than the other, or vice versa, or maybe they both feel really even. And the next time you come back towards center, bring both hands towards the front of the knee, interlace the fingers, and let's just take a few inhales and exhales. Exhales, draw the knee in. Inhale, extend the knee. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale. And inhale. And then one last time, exhale. And then release that right leg, set it back onto the bolster, set the foot down, rest the right leg, and then draw the left knee in, bringing the hands to the front of the knee, drawing the knee in towards the heart. Again, just gently drawing the knee in. Notice what's happening to the back of the body. Maybe give the ankle a little twirl in one direction. And maybe a twirl in the opposite direction. And then as you're ready, come back through center and maybe set the left hand onto the left knee and just kind of stir the pot. It's kind of creating a little bit of movement through the hip here, really gentle. And just notice if your right hip is starting to lift up, try to anchor that down, maybe even reduce the circular motion of the left knee. It's kind of moving in this rounded shape, kind of creating a circle in the sky. And just notice what is. And perhaps the next time you bring your knee back in towards center, we're going to go ahead and reverse our direction, opposite way. So notice all the work that's happening. Wonderful. Maybe the next time you come back through center, draw both hands to the front of the knee, draw the knee in towards the heart, gently pulling the knee in towards your center. And then go ahead and bring both knees in. We're just going to release our knees from our bolster. If your legs are directly on the ground, maybe you'll just draw the knees in, lengthen out the low back, maybe even shimmy the body so that you create a little bit of space for the low back. And this time we're going to just in opposite directions stir the pot, bringing both knees in and then opening out, opening up the hip. Just do a couple more here, and then we'll reverse our direction. And then the next time you come back in towards your center, drawing the knees in towards your heart, let's reverse our direction. Lower the knees away, open to opposite sides, pull the knees in. And just exploring the opening of the hip here. And then the next time you bring your knees in towards center, let's go ahead and maybe take our feet or reach for our bolster and just shift the bolster off to the side. And we're going to go ahead and set our feet down to the floor. And depending on how it feels for you, maybe set your feet in a little closer towards your glute or a little further away, depends on what feels best for you. Set your arms out to the side of your body, open up wide through the clavicles. Inhale, press into the feet, lift the sacrum up, open up into your bridge. And then exhale, slowly lower down using your abdominals. And again, you don't have to raise too far up. Just focus on the back body as you flow in your flowing bridges here. Breathing in and breathing out. As you engage the glutes, you start to press the heel of the feet into the floor, opening up the front of the body, engaging the back of the body. And just slowly moving from one to the other, finding your rhythm here. And perhaps the next time you raise up, you hold for a breath or two. Find a little steadiness in the body, a little softness in the body. Try to release any tension or sense of work as you're here. And then slowly release your sacrum back down to the floor. Draw your knees one at a time in towards your heart. Lengthen the back. Perhaps you set your right foot down, cross your left ankle over your right knee, open up the hip here. Gently opening up with the left hand, gently opening with the hand pressing on the inside of the knee. If that feels good, maybe you stay here. Perhaps you explore drawing the right thigh in towards your heart with a gentle opening of the left leg with the elbow of the left arm. Only if that feels good. You may even explore taking the right leg up to the sky to get a little added hamstring stretch here, if that feels good. Remember, we want to find our range. We don't want to force our body to meet a shape. So perhaps simply allowing the left ankle to rest on the right knee with that left hip opening and the right foot down to the floor is exactly where we need to be today. Wonderful. Go ahead and set that right foot down. And we're going to unwind our left from our right and then open up the arms into a strong T. So allowing the arms to open out to the side. Maybe we lower the arms a little bit, finding what feels good for us. Allowing the weight of the arms to feel really heavy on the floor. Press into the heels, lift the sacrum, and then draw the sacrum over to the left, bringing the knees towards center and twisting towards the right. Keeping both shoulders firmly grounded to the earth. Perhaps we support our legs by resting a yoga block underneath the bottom leg. Now, the further down we go, the more into the lower part of the spine we're going to get into. The further up we come with our knees, the more into the upper part of the spine we're going to get into. So just explore what feels best for your body. And we're going to stay here for about 5 breaths. So maybe you want to close your eyes and just focus on your breath coming in and out of the body. Making any adjustments, even placing a yoga block between the knees is a wonderful way to really allow the inner thighs to connect. Try to soften any tension that might be kind of emanating from the upper body. Allow there's a sense of ease to kind of move into the body here. And then on your own perfect pace, we're going to start to lift that top leg up. Meet the top leg slowly by bringing the right leg back in towards center. Reestablish yourself back at your base. So bring your sacrum back to the middle of your mat. Release the arms to the side and perhaps cross the right ankle over the left, opening up the right hip here. Again, we may just be opening up that right hip by gently opening it with the right hand. Maybe that's enough for today. Perhaps we explore by taking the left thigh in towards our center. Maybe we explore by lengthening the left leg, giving the hamstrings a little stretch. And then when you're ready, go ahead and bend into your left foot. Set your left foot down. Unwind your right from your left. Open up the arms one more time into that T shape, or maybe a little bit lower. Press into the floor, shift the pelvis over to the right this time, and draw the knees over to the left. Finding our supine twist here. Maybe gaze is up to the sky, soft gaze. Maybe your eyes are closed. Notice any part of your body that is kind of trying to create force here. Notice if you're trying really hard to keep the legs together, or to try and keep the chest open, or trying to keep that right shoulder down. See if you can just explore this idea of letting that go. Letting just that desire to force the body or encourage the body. I don't want to say force, encourage the body. Maybe we try to meet our body exactly where it's at. Maybe the shoulder is slightly lifted, and that's okay. Maybe just with that idea of letting go of that tension or that encouragement, we invite a bit more openness, of that opportunity to release. Wonderful. And we're going to go ahead and slowly draw the right leg up towards the sky, and then meet the right leg with the left leg, and we'll bring our sacrum back towards center. And as you're ready, let's go ahead and bring both knees in towards the chest. Bring the knees in towards your heart as you interlace the fingers, and give yourself a little hug here. And maybe rock yourself side to side, spreading the low back into the floor, massaging the spine. Wonderful. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to go ahead and we're going to roll onto our tummy. So let's slowly roll onto one side, and we're going to come right into crocodile. So lying down on our tummy with our palms down towards the floor and our elbows wide, resting the forehead to the top of the feet, to the hands, sorry. Feet are going to be hip distance apart. And we're just going to allow ourselves to just rest here for a few breaths, breathing into the belly and breathing out. Trying to release the shoulders. And just focus on breathing into that belly, that diaphragmatic breath. You can feel the belly pressing down into the floor as you breathe in. If you notice it's more of your chest that's pressing down to the floor, I want you to take that breath down a little deeper, down towards the belly. This is wonderful feedback to really focus on that deep diaphragmatic breath. Let the shoulders drift away from the ears. Soften the eyebrows, soften the back of the body. And then if it feels comfortable for you, go ahead and shift your pelvis side to side, like you're just giving it a little shake. Just loosening up the low back, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. And really trying not to do anything that requires too much effort here. Just kind of relaxing into it, letting your body ease into this. And then maybe even want to bend into your knees and lift the feet up, and maybe open the knees wider so you can kind of windshield wiper your feet in and out. Create a little bit of movement here through the low back, a little bit through the pelvis. And just kind of exploring a little bit of fun movement here. No particular range, no particular rhyme or reason, just kind of allowing some fluidity through the low back, just kind of some fun swaying, like the wind, like the water. Wonderful. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and set your feet down. Draw the knees in a little bit closer to center. And we're going to slide our hands to the side of our body and gently press ourselves back into child's pose. Knees wide, big toes together. Arms may be extended. Otherwise, you can always bring your elbows in a little closer to center. Resting the forehead down to the floor, maybe stacking the hands or stacking the fists to be able to create a little holder for the forehead to rest onto. And as you make your way into your child's pose here, allow the low back, the shoulders, the back of the spine, the latissimus dorsi, the whole back area just to relax down. Notice if you're holding on to any tension here. See if you can breathe into the back body and let everything kind of seep down towards the mat. Perhaps we take our hands and we lift our forehead and gently walk our hands over to the left side, keeping our pelvis really kind of glued in space, dropping down through the right hip and expanding the right side of the body. Again, don't try to force this. Just try to create a little bit of opening, breathing into the side body, maybe giving that shoulder a nice little stretch. And again, if the arm reaching out long doesn't feel good for you, bend the elbow. And then when you're ready, go ahead and walk through center, over to the other side, taking that left arm out a little bit, pressing down to that left hip, opening up the side of the body here. Try to relax even that right shoulder. And if it's accessible, maybe set the forehead down to the floor. And then go ahead and walk the hands back through center. Press the palms long, if that feels okay. Giving the back one more little bit of opening here. Let the sacrum dress down towards the earth. Opening up the latissimus dorsi, the shoulders, just kind of relaxing into this space. And then when you're ready, go ahead and we're going to inhale and come right into all fours. And let's just do a few cat cows here, just to kind of create a little bit of movement through the spine. So make sure your hands are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, everything nice and firmly grounded down. Head lifted upon the rest of the spine. And just move through your cat cows, breathing in. Opening up and breathing out. Pull that belly in, let the head drop down. Open the back, the body, the shoulders. Just leading with the heart. Wonderful. And kind of finding a little bit of that moving through the spine, that mobility. It's allowing the neck to kind of flow down, giving the back of the neck a nice little stretch. Engaging the glutes here. So we want to just create a little bit of engagement, maybe even engage the inner thighs towards center as you draw the glutes in, letting the head drift down, kind of finding your flow here. Wonderful. And then maybe let's do one more here. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back in towards our tabletop position. Set the left hand a little bit closer to center. Inhale, take the right arm and left leg out, finding our spinal balance. And then exhale, release the right hand and the left knee. Inhale, extend the right foot and the left arm. Exhale, release down. Now, as you're doing this, keeping the core nice and engaged and just alternating sides here. Engaging through the glutes. Opening and expanding that spine. Think about lengthening. And let's say maybe lifting the leg feels like it's too much, or lifting the arm feels like it's too much. Feel free to do one and not the other. So maybe you just lift the arm and not the leg, and vice versa. We're still going to work the core here, giving that core an opportunity to help us balance out and create some stability. So we're just going to get that core nice and worked out here. Beautiful. Let's do one more on either side. And then when you're ready, we'll make our way back towards center. Let's just come back to child's pose just to give our back a little counter stretch, maybe resting the hands directly underneath the forehead. Relax the shoulders and the low back. Wonderful. And let's go ahead and take our next inhale, shift back into all fours, bring the knees in towards center, and let's get ready to go into downward facing dog. Palms spread out, toes curl under, inhale and exhale, press up. As you press up, maybe widen through the feet, widen through the arms, allow the heart space to drift down, press the heels towards the earth. Maybe pedal the feet one at a time. Try to see if you could relax into the shoulders. Let the heart space remain open. Let the sits bones remain lifted as you pedal one foot and then the other. Softening the wrists, drawing some attention to the thumb and to the pointed finger. And then on your the next time you drop your left heel down, let's go ahead and stay there for a moment. Then drop your right heel down and stay there for a moment. And then drop both heels down. Draw the feet in towards center. Weigh a little bit into that left foot and inhale, take the right leg up to a three-legged dog. Bend the knee and open up the right hip with a gentle twist, if that feels okay. Come back through center, extend that right leg, and we're going to draw that right leg all the way forward between the hands. Maybe offer that right leg a little bit of support here. As you find yourself here in your low lunge, we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up, come into crescent. Weighing into the back and the front foot, softening through the shoulders, or maybe rest the arms at heart center. Take a moment to give the shoulders a break. As you're here, allow the left hip to open as you extend the left heel down towards the earth. Keep the upper body nice and tall, the shoulders soft. From here, sweep the arms all the way up towards the sky. As you exhale, sweep the hands all the way down, framing the right foot, taking the right foot back, coming into downward dog. Weighing into the right foot, softening the shoulders, softening the jaw. Inhale, sweep the left leg up to the sky. Bending into that left knee, maybe twisting towards the right, if that feels okay. Just opening up that hip. Inhale through center, extend the left leg. Exhale, sweep the left leg forward. Meet it between the hands. Maybe give that left leg a little bit of help. Lengthen the spine. Settle into the front and the back foot. Inhale, sweep up. Find your crescent pose, opening up the right hip here. Finding your balance here, dropping the shoulders. Pulling in through the belly and just finding some really nice support underneath you here. Maybe settle the hands at the heart. On your next inhale, sweep up. Exhale, lengthen the arms down, framing that left foot. Bring that left foot back. Find downward dog. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and settle that left foot into the floor. Inhale, sweep the right leg up to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, lengthen the leg. Exhale, sweep that right leg all the way forward. Inhale, sweep the arms. Find your crescent. Exhale, we're going to go ahead and rest the hands to the side, way into that front foot, and gently bring that left foot back and meet at the top of our mat. Hands are going to rest at the side of our body. Relax in through the shoulders. Press both feet into the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up towards the sky. Let the left arm remain lifted while you take the right hand and gently guide that left wrist over to the right side, gently giving yourself a side bend. Inhale back through center, grab the right wrist and gently lean over towards the left. Inhale back through center, release the arms, extend the arms out to the side, roll the shoulder blades back. Maybe you press your hands onto your hips, opening up into a chest expansion. Perhaps you interlace the fingers, opening up the heart. Perhaps you remain here. Perhaps we bend the knees and gently come into a forward fold. As you're ready, release the hands. Let the hands drift down towards the floor. Maybe lengthen the legs. Inhale, come into your half arch. Lengthen the hands towards the shin. Lengthen the back. Exhale, release down. Bring your right foot back and then your left. Come back to downward dog. Settle in here for a moment. Rest your right foot down to the floor. Inhale, take your left leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, lengthen out the leg. Exhale, sweep it all the way forward between the hands. Ground in through the feet. Inhale, sweep up, find your crescent. Open up that right hip. Maybe settle the hands to the heart space. Release the hands to the side. And we're going to gently walk our right foot back towards center. However we get there is fine. Settle our hands to the side of the body. Standing up nice and tall, pressing into the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up towards the sky. Grab that left wrist, lean over to the right. One more time, opening up that right shoulder. Inhale back through center. Grab the right wrist over to the left. Opening up the side body and the shoulder. Inhale back through center. Release the arms out to the side, maybe bringing the hands to the hips. And as you're here, if this is what feels good for you, make sure you roll those shoulder blades back and down. And as you lift, there's this lift through the upper part of the sternum here. As you pull the shoulder blades back and down, really focusing on expanding through the chest here. If it feels good to extend the arms and find a little more chest expansion by interlacing the fingers, go ahead and do so, but still roll those shoulder blades back and down. Your pelvis stays really neutral and you just find that lift through the sternum here. Keep the core nice and engaged. Knees are soft. Maybe you want to explore a forward fold here, bringing the arms overhead. Maybe your hands are still at your hips and you're coming down to a forward bend. Maybe your arms are extended above. Perhaps you release your hands down towards the floor. Inhale, find your half arch. Lengthening through the spine, pulling up through the belly. Exhale, release down. This time, let's go ahead and take that left foot back. And we're going to set that left knee down to the floor here in preparation for our pigeon. So for pigeon, I'm going to grab perhaps a yoga block so I have it nearby. If having your knee down to the floor feels a little funny, maybe you want to make sure you've got a blanket or something underneath. Now, pigeon can feel a little intense, so we're going to just explore how it feels, and I'm going to encourage us all to use a yoga block. I'm going to bring it towards me and have it underneath my right hip. So we're going to toe heel our foot right foot over towards the left side of the mat. And then as we do so, we're going to come down towards the floor. So the right hip is going to open here. That back leg, I like to lift and really reach out through that left leg here. Hips are square, which is really important. Now I've got my right knee kind of coming down towards the center of my body here. I don't think I'll ever reach a 90-degree angle, which I often see, but I don't think that's my body. So here I want to just make sure that my hip bones are nice and facing forward. I don't have one hip shifted or I'm leaning over to one side. Everything is nice and neutral. Maybe even taking that yoga block and setting it directly underneath my right hip, or your right hip is going to feel really supported and comfortable. And maybe we stay in lifted pigeon here and see how that feels. Lifting up through the belly, softening through the shoulders, just allowing that hip to open and get a really, really intense stretch to the glutes as well. Now, if this is a practice that you're familiar with and you're comfortable with, you can always explore sleeping pigeon, coming down maybe onto the forearms, maybe coming down with the forehead down to the floor. This is really optional here. We're going to take about 5 or 6 breaths here, and I want you to explore this idea of each time you exhale, making yourself 1% more comfortable. So try to relax in through the jaw. Maybe this is one of those perfect opportunities that you can see your thoughts like an acquaintance, just kind of passing through, because I know for myself, this is one of those poses that I really have to focus on one thing at a time. The thoughts tend to want to come in and take over. Let's try to settle into your breath. Even relax your jaw and your teeth. Wonderful. Now, just as carefully as we got into this pose, we're going to just as carefully come out. So please don't rush. It's very important to really take your time. Take a moment here. Maybe you lift your right hip a little bit off the ground and set that yoga block off to the side. And we're going to curl the left toes under, lift the left knee. So press the hands into the floor, lift that left leg, and slowly bring that right foot back. And we're going to just pedal it out a few times just to kind of wiggle out any tightness through the knee we might have felt. Kind of move through the back of the leg. Beautiful. Just kind of get out any wigglies that we have to kind of release from the body here. It's kind of flowing through the feet like water in the ocean. Just kind of relax into it. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and ground into that right foot. And perhaps this round we'll lift our left leg up. Exhale, gently pull that right knee in, that left knee in, set that left foot down, coming right into pigeon on the other side. And again, I'm going to take that right foot and just extend it out long and then set the right knee down and set that right foot down. Taking my yoga block, set it right underneath my left hip. And you kind of explore what feels good for you here. Like the knee should feel pretty comfortable here. If you've got anything kind of coming into the knee, you might want to come out of this pose because the knee really should feel comfortable here. Maybe you've got the yoga block setting underneath and both hip bones are nice and even. Maybe you remain lifted. Maybe you just explore by pressing the arms out a little bit or maybe coming down onto the forearms. Again, this is really optional. I'm going to take about 5 to 6 breaths here. With each exhale, just exploring, making ourselves that much more comfortable. I'll never forget my teacher instructor training, how we did Pigeon, and I'll never forget how we were there for so long, and all I kept thinking was, when is she going to tell us to come out? When is she going to tell us to come out? And it was just a true act of trying to settle in, just to try to tune in. And it was really at that point where I had to check in with myself. It was a very humbling experience. To settle those thoughts down, just kind of find that space from within to tune into. And then just as carefully as we went in, let's just slowly start to move ourselves out. So press the hands into the floor. Try to keep that core engaged so that your back is nice and supported. Curl the right toes under, lift the knee. And this time we're going to go ahead and set ourselves down right onto our right hip. And we're going to swing that right foot, our left hip, sorry, my bad. That left foot and right foot are going to extend out long, coming into staff pose. And just go ahead and wiggle the legs out here. Just kind of give those knees, especially the left one, just a little wiggle out from that pretty intense hip opener. So we did a lot of work leading up to coming into Pigeon. Not something I would say just go and do right after you've kind of come back from something, or I'd say probably ease into it. Knowing that if a full Pigeon doesn't work, coming into reclined Pigeon is a wonderful option. We did that at the beginning, that figure 4 stretch. That's exactly the same pose, just a different relationship to gravity. Wonderful. Now from here, let's go ahead and take our band, and we're going to set the band directly underneath our feet. So the legs are going to extend out long, back is going to remain nice and long here. And I want you just to imagine you've got a string pulling out from the back of your body here. So right where the belly button is, you're going to keep that belly button nice and engaged. Pelvis is going to stay nice and neutral. And we'll just let our upper body kind of walk ourselves forward into a forward fold. And you've got a really nice opportunity here to lengthen out a little bit of the low back. You can even let the upper body just kind of round in, release the arms. And I just like to have that tactile feedback with the strap. But if you don't like it, set the strap off to the side, giving all the back of the legs a nice little stretch here too. Just taking a nice few breaths. Breathing into the back body and releasing. Try not to strain through the upper body. Let the shoulders remain soft. Really embracing the sense of softness through the body. Just easing in with what feels good for us right now. No force. No need to do more. And then at your own pace, we'll start to slowly release back, just kind of restack the spine. Maybe just take a little moment to shake it out a little bit, and maybe even take the band and set it off to the side. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and bring the soles of our feet together, and let's come into Baddha Konasana, into our butterfly pose. So as we come to our soles of our feet together, just allowing the knees to open up, the hips to open. And maybe you remain here. This may be just the right amount for today. Maybe you want to explore a little forward fold. It's entirely up to you. Maybe cupping the toes and gently coming down. Just opening up the hips a little bit more. Softening through your gaze and through your eyes. Really seeking a sense of melting into it without any sort of feeling that you have to rush or force the body here. Just kind of coming into it today. Beautiful. And then slowly make sure your abs are slightly engaged as you restack the spine. And let's go into Sukhasana. Bring both feet into that crisscross position. And with ever so gentleness, I'd like you to firmly ground into your sits bones here. Imagining that the only part that's twisting is your upper spine, and everything from here down remains firmly grounded to the earth. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, twist towards the left. Set the right hand to the left knee. Left hand reaches back. Lift through your spine. Gently twist towards the left. Inhale through center, sweeping the arms up towards the sky. Exhale over to the other side. And then coming back through center. Wonderful. And let's take both shoulders back and just do a couple of shoulder circles. Really gentle, setting the hands on the top of the thighs or the knees. It's kind of moving through the shoulder girdle. Wonderful. And then maybe reverse that direction. Easing in through the upper body. And then come back in towards center. Reset those shoulders right where they need to be. And with a nice long spine, let the shoulders relax away from the ears. Let's go ahead and turn our gaze towards the right side of the room. Keep the chin parallel to the floor. Try not to move anything else but just a little rotation of the neck towards the right. And then inhale back towards center and then over to the left. And just repeat a few times, just at your own pace. Each time, just see how it feels. Maybe you feel a little pulling in the back of the neck. Just kind of tune into that. Tune into what's going on. See if you can create this rotation in the nicest and gentlest way possible. Good. Let's do one more on either side. And then slowly, whenever you're ready, make your way back towards center. Let's drift the chin towards the heart, lengthening the back of the neck. Pull the shoulders down towards the earth, softening, releasing. And slowly drift the eyes up. Come back through center. Nice job. Let's go ahead and make our way down to the floor. And we're going to get ready to go into our Shavasana today. But before we do, we're going to do a little bit of our candlestick. So we're going to use our bolster today, or you can use a yoga block, whatever feels most comfortable for you. So I like the bolster because it's a little softer underneath my sacrum. So perhaps today we're going to go ahead and choose whatever way you want to lift your sacrum off the ground. Maybe you come down to the floor, find yourself in kind of a half lift, a half bridge pose, and go ahead and just find that most comfortable position and then set your sacrum down onto your yoga block. We're going to come back to where we started, bringing the knees in towards the chest after you've settled yourself in. And again, if this does not feel ideal for you, then please feel free to do this directly onto the floor. You don't have to be lifted if it doesn't feel the best for your body. And then whenever you're ready, we can go ahead and just rest our arms to the side and extend our legs up to the sky. I'm going to be here for about a minute and a half or so. Just allowing this gentle inversion to do all of its magic. Inversions are very, very powerful poses. They call them the poses that are the fountain of youth. Apparently, with the way the blood moves, it really helps to keep everything nice and fresh. And this particular pose is very restorative in nature. So a headstand would be more invigorating in nature. So something I would reconsider before bed. But this would be one pose that I would definitely encourage you, especially if you're having a hard time sleeping or maybe just kind of a little bit restless. Just take yourself to a wall and find yourself with legs up the wall. I think I've said this before in class, but I like to remind everyone because it's such a great pose to do. I used to go to a yoga class. She used to teach us and start in that pose, which was so interesting because you kind of began your practice in a very calm and quiet space. It was a really wonderful suggestion. I'm going to settle in here with the sacrum, let the chest feel open. Try not to work here. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to slowly make our way down, bending the knees. We're going to set the feet down to the floor. And really, it's entirely up to you. You can stay in supported bridge if you want to for your Shavasana. You can set the bolster down towards the knees, maybe on its high height so that you've got some nice support underneath the knees here and a really great release of the back. Or maybe you just extend the legs out long and find a traditional corpse pose. And today, maybe you want to harvest the energy you have from within. Maybe you bring your hands to your body and you've settled the palms of the hands to the body as a way of connecting from within. Just kind of moving through your own internal energy. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of energy, maybe you extend the arms out, palms up and open to receive. And as we rest here for the next few minutes, just allow everything to remain calm. Tune into your breath. Notice the rise and fall of the front of your body. And before we begin to draw our awareness back to the outside world, let's just start to take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathe in and breathe out. Maybe start to shift your attention to some movement in the body. Maybe you feel like you need to stay in Shavasana a little longer, which is absolutely fine. So please tune into what feels best for you. And just by gently creating some movement through the fingers and through the toes, you're just gently waking up the body here. And whenever you're ready, if you'd like to, you can roll onto your side. Maybe even take your bolster with you and set it between the knees. Just kind of coming to this really kind of nice transition before we kind of come up and reawaken, move on with our day. It's kind of embracing a little pause before we come back. And then at your own pace, maybe you stay here a little longer, maybe not. We'll slowly start to take that yoga bolster and just shift it off if you have one, or then maybe start to take that top arm and press it into the floor, just slowly making your way up into an easy seated position. And it's coming back to the mat. Kind of wiggle out the hair, wiggle out the neck, relax through the shoulders, soften the jaw. And today we'll close our practice with a few big clearing breaths. So I'm going to take those arms, extend them overhead if that feels good, or maybe you just want to take some breaths just seated here without movements of the upper body. It's entirely up to you. And we'll take a breath and breathe in through the nose, extend the body. Press the palms together, meet at your heart. Breathe in. Breathe in. And whenever you're ready, we'll meet with our hands at our heart center. Let's just gently bow down to our hands. It's acknowledging the divine that lives within us all. May your heart always stay warm, and may your smile always stay broad. And may the light that shines in me honor the light that shines in you. Namaste. As always, thank you for practicing with me today. It's such an honor. So from my heart to yours, I wish you the most glorious day, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.